Right, hello guys, welcome to their vlog. This is going to be a new one on a cruise. We've just got back from a
Cunard.
Yeah, a new cruise liner which we've never done before, Cunard, and we went on Queen Victoria down to Lisbon. It's middle of October, or just the end of October. So it's October half-term school holidays. The year is 2023, which you'll probably see in the video anyway. I thought I'd mention that because some blogs don't mention the year, so you can see what the weather's like.
I like to always see what the weather's like, you know.
Yeah.
You know what to wear then, don't you, roughly?
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite bad, the weather, but we talked about it. We've got some good weather near the end. By the time we got Lisbon, and we had a good on day back.
Home.
Most of it's quite wet and that, but we had, each year's different. We have had some good ones, haven't we?
Yeah, you just never can tell, but you've got to be expected to bring stuff for every occasion. So
we do a little chat about and some videos, footage of our holiday, a bit about the boat and about what we did each day, rather than just doing a tour of the ship sort of thing. Right, so Friday night was the day we got on to set sail, which is quite good to get the extra day off work, wasn't
it?
Yeah. So we didn't do much on Friday. We walked, to let you know, Noel, we walked from the train station to the port, and it's the furthest port out there. It's Queen
Elizabeth dock.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise how far it was, did we? Because we've walked before and thought, well, that's all right, it's a nice walk. But this one was, I think, the furthest cruise terminal, and so it was quite a long walk.
Yeah. So if you're on Queen Elizabeth dock, and you want to walk, you've got to bear in mind it's about 25 to 30 minute walk with your suitcases. So it was a bit longer. Whereas the other ports are quite close to the station, so most times we'd walk. Yeah. But this one, if we was there again, we definitely probably would get a taxi because it's a long way to go, really. But other than that, getting on board was brilliant. Like all the cruise liners, you turn up within minutes you're on board. They're very good at that. No. And then we went up, got some lunch, and then just sat around for the evening until we went to the theatre, and we saw Music of the Years, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the company's dance troupe.
Yes, it's their dance group.
Very good, very high energy.
Yeah, so that was basically most of what we did Friday night, really. We went to that and then we went to the Queen's Room to have some evening entertainment there. So Saturday was our first sea day. You got up and did your line dancing.
Line dancing, followed by Zumba, and then we did the ballroom dancing.
What was it, line dancing like?
It was good actually, yeah, I really enjoyed it and that, but I think there was a lot of people joining in, so that was good. We did do the same, a few dances the same each day, so you got to know them by the end.
Yeah, so that was on the first day, they had professional dancers they brought on from Ukraine. They taught us on the first day the waltz, which we did. We forgot it already, so we're going to have to practice that.
No, we haven't. It's 1, 2, 3. It's not too.
But that was very good. The way they taught it and that was very good. The way they split the classes up and stuff as well. And we got about at least an hour or so, and then an hour at least, and then they go into a little dance on your own and stuff like that. So it's quite good for if you want to learn to dance. This is definitely one of the best cruises liners to be on, Cunard, because they've all got a big ballroom and they've all got dance classes going on during the day, and in the evening there's all loads of dancing as well. Right, so that night was gala night, which is a black and white night. So everyone dresses up in their black and white penguin suits, which we did as well. It's not too strict, but nearly everyone does it from what we've seen. And if you don't want to do that, you can go to the alfresco, the buffet, and it might be at some other places, dining places that you can go to. So you don't have to dress up if you don't like doing that. But the main dining area, especially at restaurants and stuff, do require that you to dress up. And if you go up to the top bars and stuff, they ask you to dress up.
Yeah. People were wearing, it was supposed to be black and white, but people were wearing red or silver and that, but everyone was just really smart. And it was so nice just to sit and people watch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And see what everyone was wearing.
It was nice to see everything. And all the people getting photography, the families and that, getting their photos done and stuff as well.
You don't tend to dress up so much at home, especially like black tie, so it was nice. It was really nice to see. I like doing that.
Where we saw Electra, wasn't it?
Electra, the two ladies with the violins. Yeah. Are amazing, But also, as well as playing the violin, they kind of talk to you and they tell you little stories about the songs they're going to do.
Yeah, they do. A lot of the entertainment, sometimes they get, especially like this one, they do give you a bit of information. Yeah. So but they were a very, very good show. So that was quite nice.
Amazing.
Really. And then from that, we just had a couple of beers in the Queen's Room, and then we went up to karaoke. Now, if you don't like karaoke, or if you've never tried karaoke, you should try it on the ships. We did it on P&O, it was our first time we went to karaoke, and we loved it, and ever since that we've been going. And it is a really good night.
We don't do it, we just watch.
Yeah, I don't see.
It's really funny just to watch people, and you got some really good ones, and obviously the words are there so you can join in. But it's just amazing to see some talent that's out there, you know, and you're like, wow, when people get up, aren't you?
Yeah, and you also get to meet a lot of the people on the boat, and you start chatting to them because it's a bit more fun. And it did get quite busy. On the second night we did karaoke because the word got around about how good it was, and there was a lot more people in there. They don't do a big enough room. But we'll leave you a little bit now with a bit of a song from some of the people at karaoke. There's Ron, and then there was Jim as well.
Big Jim.
Who were probably one of the best singers, Jim was. So we'll leave you a bit with that now.
Fancy clubs, oh, where the old man we play. So there's never a trace of red. Now on the sidewalk, ooh, Sunday morning night, lights of folly, just oozing light. Someone sleeping around the corner. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me.
Right, so on Sunday we had the same day Zumba and line dancing, and then we had the ballroom dancing. And then I got to see a classical pianist in the Queen's Room. So they do a few little shows like this.
Up close.
Yeah.
You know, they put all the chairs out, didn't they?
Which I can leave a little bit now to show you what his list sounds like.
He was really good, wasn't he?
So after that, with sort of the pianist, we had afternoon tea. With afternoon tea, then if you are in the main Queen's Room anyway, and bear in mind this is free afternoon tea, unless you want the champagne one, which is $40, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can have champagne $40, but yeah. So if you're in the Queen's Room already, before it's about half hour, an hour beforehand, because you've been seeing the show like I was, then you don't have to move out. Just stay where you are on your seat. And then now just start setting up all around you. And it's a good way of being able to be basically at the front of the queue because you're already in the Queen's Room.
Yeah, it's quite like a military operation though, isn't it? Suddenly all these waiters descend on you and start doing it in that. I think because they do it every single day at 3 o'clock, they're really good at it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's worth going to. Every day, like I say, they do it. It does get very popular, so if you're not sitting down by the time they set up, you'll rather be queuing, people were queuing till come in. Yeah, so it does go on a bit if you're not in there straight away. But realistically, during the whole of the cruise, it's on every day. At some point, if you can get in there, sit down beforehand, and they set up around you, you will get a chance to see the afternoon tea. And it's very, very well professionally done, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, and that really the little tiny rolls and the cakes and the scones were still hot.
Yeah, hot scones.
That was nice,
tea was lovely. So sometimes we sort of miss lunch because we eat it up anyway on ship, and then we just go and sit down for afternoon tea, and we make that part of our lunch, a little tiny light snack. So in the evening, we just got dressed up like normal, it was no gala night, and then we went to the main dining room again, and then we went on to the theatre where we saw a comedian. Now I can't show you any of his footage because you're not allowed to video inside the theatre at all, but he was really, really good, really.
What did you do after that?
We went back to the Queen's Room. We had the big band night.
Wake up to reality. For each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before ready in. 'Cause I've got you under my skin.
Oh yeah, that was really good. Yeah, we like a big band, you know. We like all the instruments and that, and they did quite a bit of Frank Sinatra, which is really nice.
So they were on
band, and that.
twice during the cruise. So we did notice that if you want to see something like, if there's something specific like the big band nights on, and you go to the theatre, by the time you come out of the theatre, you're going to be very lucky if you can get a seat in the Queen's Room, because a lot of people are going straight there, so it's quite busy.
And there was 2 people who were escorts. So if you were on your own, travelling solo, then they're happy to dance with you. And they were really friendly too. They also helped you if you wanted some advice about the dancing.
Yeah, they help people dance as well.
Yeah, Amanda and Ian. And they were really, really friendly people, you know. Really nice to know.
Yeah, that's good. So that's Saturday night. So Sunday we're supposed to be in Vigo. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday, but the weather going across, we had some really bad storm coming. So it was rocking like a good one. Even I got a bit seasick, which is unusual because I don't normally get it. Lots of people were in their rooms being a bit rough. So we didn't get into Vigo because the winds were quite bad and the ship couldn't keep up with the speed. So we ended up doing another day at sea, which to me, we weren't bothered about it because we wanted to spend more time on the ship because we want to get used to seeing whether we could do an Atlantic one and spending 7 days on a ship. So this works out better for us, but some people obviously want to see Vigo, they missed out on that day. So that was a bit annoying for them, really, if they didn't get off. And then the following day, we made it into Lisbon.
Yeah, we woke up in Lisbon, didn't we? So, and the sun was shining, and we knew we had a few hours of sunshine. So I think we took our time there, didn't we? Because
we didn't get off straight away, no.
Yeah, we've been to Lisbon before, so we thought we'll take advantage. Everyone else got off, so actually we sat and had a relaxed breakfast and got in the hot tub for a little bit while the sun was shining.
Yeah, so if you've never been to Lisbon by a cruise, it does pull into the main sort of town area. You don't have to get a shuttle bus or anything. You can just walk straight off the ship. To the left as you come off, you go down to a square area, some nice little bars and restaurants there. We had a beer there, and from there you can go straight under the arch, and you're in the main like touristy area for shops and bars, all lined up on the street and stuff like that. So it's not far. That's about a 5-minute walk really from the ship, and it's a very hilly place, Lisbon. So we went straight up to the churches because we wanted to see them. So I'll show you some footage of the churches that we went to see. One of them was closed, but one was open, luckily. And then from there we went up further to find some supermarkets and stuff. Well past Lidl, if you look at it on the map, which turned out to be about a 25-minute walk back to the cruise. But it was nice to get to see parts of Lisbon that you wouldn't normally see to get away from the touristy areas.
Because it was so high up, you could almost always see where the ship was.
Yeah,
so
you always know
too
downhill is back to the ship.
It wasn't too difficult getting it. You wouldn't get lost really, you know. But mainly I'd sum up Lisbon really with hills and trams.
Yeah. So coming back down, we went through the main town centre. We saw the lift that everyone sees. Now a bit about the lift. It's that we've done this before. Where we didn't go on the lift, where you can go around the back of the lift, and you can walk up to the viewpoint where the lift's going to. So it is walkable. It's only up a hill. But people seem to queue up for this lift for hours. It's about an hour and a half waiting list on this to go up this lift, and it's €5.7 each.
And then we walked down, didn't we? And we had a little drink in the square, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there was the beer museum.
Yeah, there's
We haven't been there
few
yet.
beer
We saw
places
it,
in
didn't
there.
we? And then
Sculptures,
opposite that, we went down towards the waterfront, and we had a drink there. And there was little ferries that are going over and back.
Yeah, so that's, if you're looking on the map, that's the metro place where you can get the underground, so you could get further away from Lisbon. So we were there for 2 days. So if you plan it, you could go outside Lisbon further places.
Yeah.
So at the metro place, there's a little bar on the right hand side, which is outside, and that's another little tiny place that not many people probably realise, because it's tucked away, and it's nice to have a beer there, and you can look at, like Loretta said, all the boats going in there. And if you want to get another boat journey, you can get the ferries to different places.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few different ones there. We haven't looked into them.
And if you're there overnight, they do like a sunset boat cruise.
Yeah, yeah.
So that'd be nice, but we weren't sure whether to book one or not really. And then we were thinking of the next day, and actually the next day we woke up and it was grey and overcast, so we didn't book it really, weren't we?
So you can get tuk-tuks, I think they're called, which you can get actually from the port where you walk off, or you can get them around the main town. They're all over the place, so a lot of people like doing that. You can get them as well. There's top buses, what they're called.
Open top buses, yeah, like sightseeing buses.
Yeah, so you can get one of them. There's quite a few of them going around, so if you want to see the town, by that you don't do too much walking.
Yeah.
And there's also the trams, as I said about, so they're going all the way over the place.
Although they look pretty full, didn't they?
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
people were standing, weren't they?
Yeah, they're quite packed, them trams, and you don't want to step out in front of them, which I've seen people do, because they don't slow down very easy. They've got old-fashioned braking systems.
And one of the things about Lisbon is they have cod cakes.
Yeah.
The cod and potato cakes, you know, and that's one of their specialities. So they've got a few shops.
Custard pie, isn't it?
Yeah, They've got a few shops just dedicated to those really, and they do have some lovely bakeries actually with some really nice.
Yeah, the bakeries, custard pies, and the tins of sardines. They do like tins of sardines as well.
So unusual, isn't it?
That was probably most of our day. Like Loretta said, because we've been there before, it's another good tip if you've been to places before, which most cruisers would probably know, is that if you don't really want to see too much of the town because you've been there before, everyone goes off the ship first thing in the morning. And you're there for 2 days, so you could take a bit of time. And because the ship's empty, you've got much more freedom around the ship of getting in the swimming pool. We did hot tubs, we did a few lengths of swimming pool. We sat out and had a beer on board because it's nice and sunshine. And then we went off about lunchtime when it was a bit more peckish, so you can go out and have a few snacks and a few beers and stuff like that. So it just makes the day much nicer. If you go off too early, you do find that when we started going off at 12, people are coming back on board already. I mean, it's so early of the day, the whole day's you've got so much more of the day to go.
Yeah, it was a better idea really. Have lunch a minute and then go off. And then
we didn't go out in the evening so much, but then we didn't get back until dinner time. So the next day was another day at Lisbon until about 4 o'clock when we set sail back home. We went back into town just to do a bit of shopping again, get our last bits.
Have a little walk, have a bit of exercise, didn't we?
I think they weren't very strict on bringing drinks back on board, and a lot of people found this out. So the duty free got quite busy on the second day, with everyone picking up their bottles of spirit and taking them back on board.
When they realised they weren't going to get taken away. So
we had another good day, just a bit around Lisbon, a bit around the thing, and you did your normal fit steps and that, and then we went on to the evening. That wasn't a gala night, was it? That night? No. That was a normal night. So what did we do?
We saw the 3 men in the group revisited. Remixed.
Remixed, yeah. There was 3 guys singing in the theatre. They were absolutely brilliant. So they did a bit of the old-fashioned soul sort of music, and then they did some modern sort of music that was similar to the old music, a bit like Ed Sheeran, one with Andrea Bocelli, if you've seen that one. And they did some Ed Sheeran and stuff like that. And they were really, really good singers and good performers. So we did love them. And we was lucky, so I'll show you a bit of this, that they come to the Queen's Room on one of the last nights, and they did a disco night. So it's a bit different to the ballroom night. So it's not all ballrooms. Don't think you're ballroom night every night. There is some actual disco music and stuff like that. So I'll show you a bit of them, there.
But not like you, you shine so bright. And I was wondering if you would be taken up on the floor, get down, get lost. I won't give up without a fight. I just want oh baby, I just want you to dance with me tonight.
And then we went to see another group up in the Winter Garden called Newfoundland, and they played the Irish music really, you know. So it was father and son, and the son played the baron, and the father was playing the guitar, the mandolin, the banjo. He was very talented, wasn't he?
Yeah, nice guys. We had a chat with him. He's from Tipperary, so they're on the ship for 3 months. So they're the regular sort of band. They're normally in either the pub or the Winter Garden, and they do little tiny, like 15, 20 minute sessions, or 20 minutes, more than 20 minute sessions, with breaks in between, and they do all your Irish songs with requests as well. So we've got a few requests in. That night, the next day was at Sea Day. We did our usual thing, and then it's another gala night. So this time it's a 20s themed gala night.
Roaring 20s.
Yeah. So we dressed up. I had just a 3-piece suit, and you had your 20s outfit. You wore a twinwood with a headdress. And he was a bit worried, a bit apprehensive about whether other people were going to do it.
But there was loads of people actually dressed up and that. So again, it was really nice, and we got some ideas for maybe next time.
Yeah. So hopefully I've got some footage of that, because it was really nice to see everyone in there, especially the ladies in their 20s outfits, because men usually just wear suits really. So that was quite nice. And then we just did, we went to the Queen's Room for the evening, and we saw the band and the dancing again. So we got to try a bit of that. And so then that was basically the last night. Really, we spent the night out. We saw the Irish guys again up in the Winter Garden.
I think we saw 4 entertainments that last night.
Yeah, we just moved around the ship a bit,
everything.
so we didn't have to worry about seats because we were moving around a lot.
Yeah.
And then we was back home, and we got off. So getting off, they have a freedom sort of walk off up until 7:30. You have to book your slots. It's 7 o'clock or 7:30 in the morning that you can walk off with your suitcase. If you don't do that, then they give you a time slot, which we got at 8:30, where you leave your suitcase out the night before. So you have to pack all your stuff up, apart from what you're wearing and what you want next day. You have to keep in a day bag. You have to go out in your time slot. Then you go off, and then your suitcases will be there ready for you. Now, if you go off before your time slots, which quite a few people did, when you get to the escalator bit, they stop you because your suitcases aren't there. And it become a bit dodgy on the escalators because you're coming down the escalators, and where they're holding people back, there weren't rooms to get off the escalators, and the escalators are still going with people coming down. But most of it coming off was brilliant, and we was closer to the station, so we walked back to the station and we got home quite well. Yeah. So we did enjoy the fact that it was easy getting off, wasn't it?
Yeah. The whole experience. We've found our new cruise company now that we just love, because although it was the October half term, the best thing was there wasn't hardly any children, because it's not really catered for children, you know.
Yeah, so it's a little bit like that as well. I mean, we've been on this cruise to Lisbon on 3 different liners now. The last one we did, which was the Royal Caribbean, was 900 children on board. Compared to the amount of people on board, it's quite a small ratio.
Yeah.
So that was quite hard work with the amount of kids taking over the swimming pools, hot tubs and everything. We don't mind kids, but Loretta works in school, you want to go away, you don't want to be in with loads of kids. And just the fact that you can get in the hot tub without children splashing and jumping in and out. So on here, Cunard, they, like I say, they do cater for families. There is a kids club and there is a kids thing, but they don't really cater too well for children. And it's very much about the dressing up and dancing.
It's a lot of people
so
who go for
there weren't that many children on it. There's probably about less than 50 kids, I would say, on board. And someone said, we've been talking to other people, and they said that's quite normal for not to have many kids, even during the half-term holidays. So that was quite nice for us. I know some people who've got families won't like that, but they do take kids on there. And there were some really kids that were getting involved in the gala nights now. We're doing the ball, and that's the fact they could probably dance better than me. So we're doing really well. So it isn't dead against kids, but it's not like, if you've got kids that need to be entertained all the time, you're better off than saying like the Royal Caribbean, where you've got the slides, you've got the entertainment for the kids and stuff like that, so it's much better. So anyway, a little bit about the ship as well. Just go through a few places. So at the top of the ship, right at the top of the front, is the Commodore's Club. It's a bit like the Crow's Nest if you go on P&O. It's a lot smaller setup, but it's nicely done. They've got the piano bar exactly the same, and you're
nice
looking out across the front. Yeah. So one of my favourite places to go and just relax and read a book, and you can get waitress service for drinks and stuff like that.
Nice chairs, nice comfortable chairs.
Yeah. Opposite that is another bar which I can never remember the name of. That's where we did the karaoke.
Oh, the Winter Garden.
No, that's not Winter Garden.
The Yacht Club.
The Yacht Club, that's it.
Yeah.
The Yacht Club. So they do disco night there late in the evening. So about 11 o'clock. There's no children allowed now after 11 o'clock at night, and then it's disco night until late. I don't know what time that goes on till. We've been there till midnight. So and it's still going. So, but they do. That's where you also do the karaoke. So they do the karaoke, and then at about 11 o'clock, the karaoke stops, and then they go into the disco for the evening. So if you're one of these people who want to start until late in the morning, drinking and dancing, then that's the place probably to go. I don't know whether the Queen's Room does that really. So going down from there, you have the spa, which we didn't go into, and you have the gym, which you used. Yeah, it's quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah, gym was really nice. It's a really nice view looking out to sea. You couldn't really place a running machine in a better place, really, to have views like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't too busy. They have really good equipment. It's all brand new. They've got weight machines. They've got loose weights. All the running site.
Everything really. You could think everything, of.
And they do classes as well.
Yeah, but the classes are additional cost.
Yeah, so you have to pay for the classes, and they do things like talk about your health and stuff like that, which you have to pay for. And the spa area, like I say, we didn't use, but because you have to pay for that, it's quite expensive. But there is a sauna in there, which is free. So if in the men's changing room, so if you're up that area for swimming pool, there's a changing room in there, which is free to use. You can put your clothes in that, and they give you a key, so you can go use swimming pools. You can go back to the room afterwards, so you can go back and get changed. And there's a sauna in each of the changing rooms, female and men, separate. where you can use that for free as well. So that's a nice little thing to add on.
Yeah.
And they do free sort of massages in the hallway. So you've got
little complimentary kind of 10-minute ones to try and tempt you to get an actual massage.
Yeah, so there is a little bits of things like that. And going through from there, you pass the table tennis, and then you're into the main centre swimming pool. So you have two hot tubs and a swimming pool there. There's no actual bar there, but it is right next door to the winter garden. We've spent a little bit of time there because it's less windy. So it's quite nice, that little area.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too busy.
It was a bit quieter, wasn't it?
So going through to the winter garden is another area where they have the bands. That's where we saw the Newfoundlands, the Irish guys. That's the sports area as well. So they do all the football, and they do put all the sports on: the football, the rugby. I think they had cricket. Everything was on during the day.
And they do lots of quizzes in there, I believe.
I was just about to say, they do a lot of quizzes. We went there a couple of nights, saw some of the quizzes as well.
Yeah, music quizzes and trivia and
there's a bar there as well. And then that goes through to the buffet area. And the buffet on this ship was one of the best buffets we've ever had. There was always a place to sit down. It was never pushing each other out of the way. There's never queuing for your food. The food was always really hot. The choices were brilliant. I mean, I had a couple of meat pies. There
was so much you couldn't decide what to have.
Talking about the food, really.
Yeah, I know.
There's so much choice. They do vegetarian menu and they do a vegan menu. And if you're a vegan going on there, ask one of the guys in the black suits, and they'll show you what the vegan ones are. If you can't recognise them, or they'll sort out something for you.
Cater for you, yeah.
So they really do work hard on everything they do, really. But the food up there is brilliant, and that's fact. We found the food up in the main buffet better than the main dining in the end. I usually love the main dining on cruises, but I found the buffet was so good. We went up there a few times for the evening meal as well. Yeah. So we thought it was that good.
Well, they had make your own kind of spaghetti. You could choose
pizzas,
how you do it. Make your own pizzas.
Everything.
Well, not
so
make your own.
We could go on forever,
you just told them what you wanted, you know.
So from there you go straight through there. You end up with a rear deck area, which has got another pool and two hot tubs, which is quite nice to see across the back of the ship. But we found it can get a little bit windy at some days, but on a quiet day when the sun's out, it's a lovely place to do. And we spent the evening in the hot tub there because they've got the bar there as well. Wait your service and bring your drinks over, and you can do the al fresco eating there as well. So you can sit outside, take your buffet stuff out there and eat out there.
Yeah, they've got a few tables set up, haven't they?
And one of the best places about that area is the burger place in the corner, which I loved. Now, I was lucky I went there because I wasn't going to get lunch and there's no queues. I thought, go over there and try it. And it's make your own burger sort of thing. So I'll show you the picture of what you can choose. You pick your burger out and you put bacon on it, cheese on it, salads on it, all sorts of bits and pieces that you can add to it. Blue cheese, normal cheese and stuff. And the guys cook it fresh. You order it and then he cooks it for you. And they were absolutely lovely.
Sweet potato fries.
Yeah, sweet potato fries. Yeah, we went there 3 times during that trip. Wasn't planned, but it was just so nice. We decided we'd go there rather than to lunch, really. So going back down through the ship there, you're coming out from the theatre, which is an amazing, lovely theatre. And talk about the theatre, they've got boxes in the theatre around the edge. Now I've heard, we didn't manage to do this, that if you get there early enough and they've not been booked, you can ask for one of the boxes for free. But if you want to guarantee one, you have to book it. And I think there might be a cost on that. I'm not sure. Someone can comment below if you want to mention whether you have to pay for that. And then coming back in again, you've got the top atrium part, which is the shops, which they do all your duty-free stuff, which likes going to get a perfume spray every day for free.
Well, it's a Chester pop.
And then below that is the casino, which we didn't try, but they do casino classes, didn't they?
Yeah, they did like low limit where you can just try and see what it's like. But I was going to have a look, but I thought no, there's no point getting into a gambling habit.
Yeah, so they do little classes like that during the day, which we didn't go to, and talks, which we didn't mention as well. So they do all that as well. You never get bored really. And opposite that is the Golden Lion pub. Again, they do the Irish guys are in there singing most days, or they had a female singer in there as well, and they do the quizzes in there as well. So there's always some sort of thing going on in the pub. And we went in there also for our lunch one day, so they do a lovely lunch menu. Usually fish and chips or meat pie or...
Well, they did the chicken tikka.
Chicken tikka, so it's all pub sort of food. And like I said, it's all complimentary. That's all part of your fare being on board. So you've got no extra costs on a lot of these places, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So going further on is the Queen's Room. That's the main ballroom area where we did the afternoon tea and the big bands and everything else. And during the day they do talks as well. They do classical singers, like I did sort of pianist.
The harp lady.
Yeah, and that's where you go for your fit steps and all the stuff like the harp lady. There's a lady playing the harp for afternoon tea and stuff.
Yeah, it's the main kind of hub really, isn't it, for most of the entertainment and that really.
Yeah. And then from there we get to the main atrium where there's a library in the corner. People said it's one of the biggest libraries ever on a ship.
It's a double-decker library.
Yeah, there's 2 decks. There's a little tiny spiral staircase going up.
So many books, isn't there? And there's a book exchange as well. So if you finish a book by the end of the cruise, you can go and swap it for another book, which I liked.
And they have the internet connection as well. You have to pay for it, but the computers are there, and you can log into if you need to do anything on the internet, like organise your trip or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you go above that, where the bookshop is that we're talking about, is another little bar, which I can't remember the name of it there. The chart room. Yeah, chart room.
Nice.
And that's like a cocktail bar. There's no main pumps of beer. They do gins, specialised gins and stuff, and they do snack foods there. There's a little tiny glass
display
thing outside.
cabinet, and they've got all the selection of what you can choose. So it's just light bites really, you know. So, but you don't actually have to even sit inside there. There's a few seats dotted around
the atrium.
Yeah, so you can sit there and you can have a little light bite, and that's complimentary as well.
Yeah, again, that's added. That's on. Not you don't have to pay extra for that. So, and then further on is the main dining area.
Yeah, the Britannia Grill. We were allocated the Britannia Grill between 5:45 and 8 p.m.
Yeah, so you allocated a time slot, or you can do that's freedom dining, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or you can do a set dining where you get told what time you're going to be there. You can do free joint dining where you sit with other people.
Yeah.
It's called
shared dining.
Shared dining. Or you can ask to sit on your own. Now we never had any problems getting in there. No queuing like we've had before. We've always managed to get a seat between the 2 of us. We don't mind doing shared dining because it's quite nice to chat with people. But most nights we didn't. We managed to get a seat, and we even managed to get window seats every time, which is awesome because we go quite early, and they had no problems with that. That area.
Yeah, you forgot the opposite the chart room. You've got the room that they do cards and jigsaws.
Oh yeah, the game.
Monopoly,
forgot about
Cluedo. I like the fact that there's a jigsaw. There's 4 jigsaws set up all the time that you could just go and have a little try, you know, see if you can fit a piece in, which is lovely because I love a jigsaw. Yeah,
and like I said, the games room next to that, with the cards room, they did bridge classes and different games, night and nights. So if you like board games and cards, that is definitely the place to go. You can sit in there, you can have a drink in there as well, and they do different games with people around the ships. You get to meet people. And one of the best things we love about cruising is being able to meet people as well. And just to mention that the staff as well, which we do need to mention, the level and the quality of the staff on board Cunard was the best we've ever had. You never had a problem with getting a drink. There's always people, waitresses walking around collecting your drinks.
Even in really random areas, you might be sitting right somewhere quite far away, and all of a sudden a waiter appears, and you think, oh, that's handy.
The food, like I said earlier, was really good, but the staff in the main dining were very fast, quick, and very polite.
You forgot to mention about room service.
Room service, we had breakfast every morning.
Well, room service is free all day, so you can have whatever you want delivered to your room all day, which is different to other cruise companies. But it's quite nice. We got breakfast most days because we got fresh coffee and some fruit and that, you know, so that was quite a nice treat rather than having to get out.
Yeah, I was going to mention the guy because every morning you can fill in a little form for your breakfast and you put it on the evening, and you put it on your outside your handle
before 11 p.m.
Yeah, and then every morning they come along with whatever you've ordered, which is like I said, it's complimentary of your fare, which a lot of places would charge. The ones we've been on charge extra for that. And the guy who did our room was really professional. Whatever you want, he would get it for you. If you wanted some ice, he said he'd come down, he'd give us a box of ice or whatever it was.
It was really, really good. You couldn't ask for more.
No, they do quite a lot for you. There is a laundry area as well where you can get your clothes laundered. You have to do it yourself, but it's part of the price of the fare as well.
And the first time this cruise as well, we had free slippers and dressing gowns in the room, which is a really nice touch actually. It's not something you'd think to pack.
Yeah, they do the afternoon turn down of your beds as well. They put the chocolates out. And another little thing, if you've got this far in the vlog, they give us a free bottle of half a bottle of champagne and glasses when you get on board, which again was really included in the fare. All these things are extras on other cruises, which Cunard seems to have kept, and they do a really good service with that. So we can't fault anything about the staff, even the people behind desks in the main concierge area. Just everything about this cruise was spot on. Yeah, and this is definitely now our favourite cruise liner to ever go on. So we are going to stick with Cunard for a little bit now. We've got a couple of P&Os booked next year, which is not a problem. We've got no problems with P&O because it's a better price budget wise. They are cheaper, so you've got to expect the service will be different because they're cheaper to go on. And it depends on destinations, but we're hopefully going to do a couple next year, and then in the future going to do
save up for a big one,
Atlantic one across America. But anyway, hopefully you got this far and you enjoyed our vlog. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We do some more on the cruises in the future, and I've got another new one coming up with my son's new van. So if you're into the van stuff of it, we've got a new 1978 VW T2 camper.
Called
we're going to do called Mavis. We're going to do a little vlog on that, and I'll do a playlist on that. So that'll be coming up soon.